Oh, hey, welcome back. Are you ready for another one? Well, I thought we'd switch things up a little bit this time. No four-player nonsense, no Persian princes. Hopefully the Nindeviled doesn't find out, but instead of playing games today, let's just read some Ian Fleming books. And you probably don't want to stick around for any of that, right? So I guess I'll just see you later. There. Oh, you're still here? Well, listen, I gotta get some more James Bond in, and since you're still here, let's play the greatest Bond game ever made, GoldenEye 64. And yeah, there's a TV over there. Don't worry about this one. There's one over there.
Well, this is certainly not GoldenEye, but what did I expect? I picked up the NES controller after all. But who is James Bond Jr.? He is the nephew of James Bond. He attends a prep school with some other relatives of other Bond characters and has his own 65-episode animated television show in which he fights against the saboteurs and criminals united in mayhem, also known as Scum. Apparently Jaws shows up too. No, not that Jaws. The show came out in the early 1990s, and I don't recall it being particularly good, but maybe the game is better. So the story starts out where there is concern about missiles on an island, and the solution is send in James Bond Jr. Okay, yeah. Send in some prep school student instead of his uncle, or a military force. So it looks like a common side-scroller, jump this gap, but then the screen stops scrolling, and so we have to go down this hole where you fall forever and shoot this big guy a whole bunch. The controls are straightforward. Jump, and item, which at the present moment is the gun. Now, while it's nice that this isn't a one-hit kills kind of game, it's apparent right up front that this is a where do I go kind of game. So what kind of enemies do we have? We got regular guys who shoot, and the same guys who fly around, and not to mention fish and underwater exploders, bomb thrower guys and a dog, dogs that guard giant rockets, wall farts, although I guess these are more of an environmental hazard. And what list of enemies isn't complete without including bouncing Easter Island-style heads? What kinds of items do we see? Well, of course there's the gun, the bomb, screen-freezing dynamite, I guess. But, we'll get more into that. In this first level, we do have some puzzles to get to, including this one where we jump an acid pit, climb up a rocket and pass through when the rocket isn't going to kill us immediately, and solve a computer puzzle where you make the screens match, which shuts down one of the rockets. And there's more than one of these puzzles. I actually find these pretty fun, and serve the plot of disabling the rockets or missiles or whatever they are. Once you solve the last one, the military boss guy says, "You've completed your mission," and to find the teleport. Well, with the amount of time I have left, I will really need to book it. I got this room full of the fart pipes, but I do make it to this room to open the teleporter, which takes me to the boss fight. Great teleporter, guys. Couldn't you guys have arranged for me to teleport back to safety instead? And I have to fight these 4 floating blockhead face things with the same time limit I have been trying to beat. But as you shoot the floating blocks, they eventually disappear, then you shoot the last one, and General Mustache gives us the passcode to level 2. Story-wise, the bad guy fails to launch his missiles, mentions some other weapon he's working on, and the Colonel dispatches James to a skeezy-looking building to find the blueprints. You spawn inside and you can take the stairs, or, more interestingly, go through the doors. There's a safe with the passcode system, and I actually didn't understand how this was supposed to work, but I made it work somehow, which revealed a bomb? Or did we place the bomb? Well, there is a safe later in which there's a blueprint instead of a bomb, so I hope these guys remember which safe is which. Sometimes you have to destroy something which opens a lift somewhere else, and then you gotta backtrack through doors, or maybe you destroy an item on a wall which disables all the turrets in the room, but either way, you find all the blueprint pieces, backtrack, go through a couple doors, shoot this robot guy a bunch, and go through the teleporter again to get the passcode. I was expecting a boss fight, but instead James is flying away because apparently we can teleport directly into vehicles. But then he runs out of fuel and crash lands at Scumlord's factory, and the Colonel tells him to destroy the parts. Okay, first off, I find it suspicious that we didn't have enough fuel. And we had exactly enough fuel to crash land at the enemy's factory. This might be a bit, conspiratorial, but it seems like we were set up on a one-way mission. And secondly, why do we need to go to the effort of destroying the parts to the weapon if collecting the blueprint papers was supposedly a valuable move in the first place? But this third level is an OSHA-violating nightmare of bouncy platforms, ball droppers, sound wave electricity, which I am sure will hurt, conveyor belts, and then this item in the corner which was luckily left by an incompetent employee as it allows us to jetpack to the area above us. Too bad it won't help us when we fight Robo Rent-A-Cop, who appears to be the end byproduct of a failed Dr. Robotnik experiment. And I expect Samus to come out of this electricity barrier thing? Yeah, no such luck. I'm just trying to shoot this thing. Gotta get the timing just right. Come on. Come on. Oh, finally. And of course, it dropped nothing. The idea in this level is to destroy these things that look like weird brains or mouths, but the kernel tells us they are machine rooms. And some of them are hidden pretty well, such as here when you gotta bomb the floor, and there are 2 of the brain machine things with turrets that, want to disrupt our progress. I'm starting to think JB Jr. here might be better at this than his uncle. I don't remember James Bond ever killing robot Spider Adolf in any books or movies. Or Jeff from accounting. So we clear out the green room and the purple room. What is this place sponsored by Skittles? Taste the pain, Bo? Make it to the yellow room where we finish off these machines and need to find the teleporter, which is being blocked by Jeff's boss, Frank, who brought his hovercraft, which he kept in the divorce. Show off. And he was only 2 days from retirement. Don't be so angry, Colonel Passcode. So Scumlord curses us, and then the Colonel wants James to free the scientists, and James agrees, and then he says he has a personal score to settle. Okay, and the Colonel says, I understand, James. This is one of those times when the appropriate use of a comma really matters. I mean, through context clues, you understand this is to mean that he is telling James, I understand. But without the comma, this is literally him declaring that he is actively understanding James. Anyway, Intelligence says the fortress is impenetrable, although there's an adit, or mine entrance, clearly visible. The game then gives credit to James for finding a flaw in the security system. Oh, you mean the minecart and lit passageway? It's as if they just want us to walk right in. What is there to even say about level 4? It's very maroon. There's enemies, sure, and a giant bug shooting at us. There's a slug thing and a mutant guy. The green tank is just for decoration, and whatever this thing is supposed to be. Look at that idiot scientist guy up there. Good job, Einstein. You got tied up above a vat of boiling green liquid. Take out the enemy in the room, and the scientist is all happy that he's rescued. One pretty cool item introduced in this level is a potion thing that turns you into a mutant guy who can easily annihilate pretty strong enemies. You actually need this ability to reach one of the scientists who was guarded by one of the bouncing Easter Island head guys we saw a while back. Hi, Mr. Crab! Once we save the last scientist, it's time to find the teleporter, which is easier said than done as we need to swim all the way back. Luckily for us, this level is relatively straightforward compared to the last 3. The teleporter is being kept in this little room with this yellow tank, and then we are teleported to the boss fight with Scumlord. Again, I want to point out that if they have this technology, couldn't they have just teleported me straight to Scumlord? Anyway, this would be a good time to use some of the bombs I've been hoarding, jump around and get hit a lot, and then take out the last part of his ship before he flies off. Then the Colonel explains that we completed our missions, but Scumlord got away, and the only way to bring him to justice is to complete the missions all over again.
Really? That's what they're going to do to get you more gameplay? Is loop all the levels a second time? James Bond doesn't deserve this, but we aren't playing as Bond, we're playing as his nephew. It doesn't make sense. Could you imagine if you went to a James Bond movie, at the end of the movie the bad guy got away, and the credits said, in order to see the bad guy get killed, you gotta watch this whole movie a second time? Well, with my word is my bond, and my bond is my word, we're gonna do this now!
So once again, let's do a giant fall, jump the acid pit, climb up the rockets, solve puzzles, teleport, fight boss, solve code things for blueprints, fly away and crash land, jetpack, woo, destroy brain mouth things in the differently colored rooms, fight robot spider Adolphs, sup Jeff, welcome back Frank, take a minecart, see giant bugs, rescue dumb scientists, mutate, hi Mr. Crab, teleport, and fight Scumlord again. You might be wondering, what's the difference between the first set of missions and the second? The answer is nothing, except no continues, which actually can make it more difficult if you don't realize you need to conserve your health, but otherwise it's completely the same, including the cutscenes. They literally repeat the same exact cutscenes, like insane morons who don't realize they've done this all once before. But you just gotta whittle away at Scumjerk until he is defeated, and then starts the end cutscenes. Yay! First it says the island is destroyed, which makes no sense, seeing as how I saved magically disappearing scientists and didn't plant explosives. Colonel says you completed all your missions, and by that he means the same missions twice. Suggests James should take a holiday or a vacation, and then the game ends with James at the beach while a plane scrolls by, saying, "Congratulations." It's the loneliest looking vacation I think I've ever seen.
There. That's it. I can't really say I totally hated it, but that repeating levels thing really rubbed me the wrong way. Like at the end of this book, if I had read this and it said, like, to get the real ending, read the book a second time, oh man. Anyway, you've made it to the end of the episode, but to get the real ending to this episode, you need to watch it again. Oh hey, welcome back. Are you ready for another one? Well, I thought we'd switch things up a little bit this time. No four-player nonsense, no Persian princes. Hopefully the Nindeviled doesn't find out, but instead of playing games today, let's just read some Ian Fleming books. And you probably don't want to stick around for any of that, right? So I guess I'll just see you later. There. Oh, you still here? Well, listen, I gotta get some more James Bond in, and since you're still here, let's play the greatest Bond game ever made, GoldenEye 64. And yeah, there's a TV over there. Don't worry about this one. There's one over there.
Well, this is certainly not GoldenEye, but what did I expect? I picked up the NES controller after all. But who is James Bond Jr.? He is the nephew of James Bond. He attended prep school with some other relatives of other Bond characters and has his own 65-episode animated television show in which he fights against the saboteurs and criminals united in mayhem, also known as Scum. Apparently Jaws shows up too. No, not that Jaws. The show came out in the early 1990s, and I don't recall it being particularly good, but maybe the game is better.
So the story starts out where he's on the island, and the solution is James Bond Jr. Since it's order, so he comes to the and stops rolling so he goes down this hole, we fall down, and shoots the big guy. Control the jump, and fight the one is now. Now, what makes this one kill the game, and right front is a where we go. So I need to do that. We have to realize to shoot and see guys around. Not fish and water slurs, bomb go down to dog. Dog hard, giant rockets, small sharks, hold I guess, the other one, and the music we love to each other's heads. But I want to see, no, put it down, the bomb, screaming on, I guess. I can't put it on. In the first one, we get to puzzle games, including some of the jump, I don't know, rocket, pass through, rocket, just so here's also the next sweet match, push down the rocket, and the one puzzle. And so the one seeing rocket themselves there are, so last one, the box says you complete your mission, fun color. Well, now time really good. So the first time we make this over, it's boss fight, it's over, it's over, it's over, it's over, it's over, it's over, the same time I can but as you play watch it, and you should watch one, and general just absolutely.
Welcome to the Spin Cycle. This is where we follow the adventures of our beloved Red Sox Snesville. He takes us on a whirlwind journey through various topics such as gaming, the science of detergents, pop culture, and the magic of fabric softeners. You never know what to expect, but it's always an exciting ride. Just like finding a $20 bill in your freshly laundered jeans. So let's get ready for Snesville's Top 5. Don't forget to empty your pockets, hold onto your socks, and brace yourselves for a roller coaster ride. It's Spin Cycle time.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to the Spin Cycle with Sinespo. I hope you enjoyed the episode of Nindeviled Eggs and learned another great deviled eggs recipe for your next party. Just kidding. But now let's do the top 5 rejected James Bond movie titles. Number 5, Dr. No. Thank you. Number 4, Tomorrow Never Died Today. Number 3, Casino Royale with Chase. Number 2, From Russia with Lice. And number 1, the man with the golden snuggie. Oh, that's it, everybody. Have a good night.